Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are out there. Thank you for coming back to another episode of the Sloth and Money Radio Podcast, live and uncut. As always, I am your gracious and beautiful co-host, Sloth, and here's the man of the hour, Mike Money. This is me. Alright, obviously I can't keep up the ruse for more than 3 seconds. You saw right through my guise. It was a facade. It was terrible. There is no money tonight, and you're listening to The Sloth Show. That's right, folks, The Sloth Show. Put it on your calendars. August 21st, 2013 was the very first recording of The Sloth Show, and it will be the very last because I am terrible as a radiocaster. And my job is to sit behind the desk and edit the sound effects and the filming and the et cetera, because I'm the AV guy. I am not the radio guy. He is the face. Well, we both have the face for radio, but he is the guy who gets this show sold because he is interesting. I am not. I am rambling, but I think it's a good point for me to tell you why I'm doing this show by myself tonight, because Mr. Mackerel decided, oh, hey, let's go ahead and go down to North Carolina and so we can see the BACKSTREET BOYS. Whee! That's right, he went to go see the BACKSTREET Boys live and in concert, but he got into a little spat on the way there, and he got stuck in a hostage situation. That's right, folks, a hostage situation. That's the legal term for it. I looked it up, hostage situation. He was at a Denny's, I believe it's like 200 feet away from, about 200 feet away from his hotel, and some gentleman, I assume he's a very fine, handsome gentleman, ordered some poached eggs, and they told him that they could not poach eggs because it's North Carolina, and you can't do that, especially at Denny's. And the gentleman became very irate, and he pulled out his firearm, and he brandished it about, and ordered everyone to the back of the store and to the freezer. Now, I know that he's going to be okay, he as in money, not the gun-toting assailant, but I know money's going to be okay because he had to live in hell for 2 years, where it was a single soul degree most of the time during the winter. But he should make it out alive, I hope. There might be bloodshed, dead people, etc., etc. But that leads me into my first topic of tonight, gun control. And as everybody knows, I'm very conservative on gun control. I believe everybody should own firearms, and everybody should have the right to conceal and carry, but you have to be responsible about it and not just be like, hey, Jim, look at this. I can change the channel with the TV, and you shoot the fucking TV and kill an 8-year-old girl outside your house walking down the street trying to sell you cookies. Who the hell wouldn't want to kill a girl trying to sell you cookies? I'm trying to cut weight, you know? Sometimes people just deserve to die for trying to sell you cookies. I'm a little morbid. I know it. Well, I'm at the 3-minute mark here, more or less, and I've already bored myself, so I'm apologizing to all of you. This is really bad. This has to be terrible. But not as terrible as the BACKSTREET Boy concert that Mr. Mackerel's missing. Thank God for this hostage situation. And I will apologize in advance for, and not really in advance because we're already 3.5 minutes in, more or less. You're going to hear a lot of crickets in the background because I have the door open because it's really hot. Really, really hot in this garage tonight, and by garage I mean our fully clad and decked out recording studio. What was I thinking? But there's lightning and rain outside soon, so I'm just trying not to die, more or less, because it's, it was sweltering today. So what do we have on the agenda? I already addressed my feelings on gun control, but I could go in depth. Because now I'm starting to see the error of my ways, and I've seen the light. The revelation has shone down upon me, and I realize now that not everybody should have firearms because, episodes like this happens where someone's going to lose their mind at a Denny's, and it's going to end up in a shootout, and there's going to be more dead people. That's awful. I mean, some people are completely irresponsible with their firearms. Like, I know one time Jim was trying to hang out with Frank, and Jim's like, "Oh, look at me! Watch this! This is really cool. Watch! I'm gonna shoot my bird feeder outside." And Jim completely missed the bird feeder, and he shot a Girl Scout, and she died. Now, normally this would be bad, but Jim was on a cut. That's right. He was cutting calories and watching what he was eating, and she was going to try to sell him that cookies, and because he had a weak constitution, just like the United States, oh my God, I put it in there. The girl died. She died. Didn't sell him the cookies, and now Jim is a world-class athlete. So sometimes maybe gun control doesn't work, and it works out for the better because it doesn't work, if that makes any sense. Obviously, I just made that story up, and I'm sorry if it entertained any of you, because then that means you're morbid. You're very morbid, just like I am. I'm doing the ums because I'm just doing this on the fly. I normally have a support guy, and I have my information ready for the day, but today I don't have jack ready, and I was just going to do some quick things on the internet. Would you rather? And I'm going to do some would you rathers until I get a better idea of how bad this show can really not be. And I'm going to go on a scale of 1 to 10 of it not being bad, negative 80. That's right, negative 80. The first question is, would you rather have your dick hung by a noose or have your dick be decapitated by a guillotine? And I can't say it right because it's French. And fuck the French. Yeah, that's right, fuck the French. And I don't think your dick can be decapitated by a guillotine, because decapitation would be your head. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I would rather have my dick be hung by no, that's wrong. I'd rather have it be cut off by that stupid French knife, because if it gets cut off by the knife, they can still sew it on. But if you get hung by your dick by a noose, then it's going to rip off and they can't sew it back on properly. Yeah, because that's just what I would. I don't know how Mike would answer this, because he's a complete imbecile. I mean, the man got stuck in a Denny's hostage situation, so he's not exactly a very bright individual. All right, next question. Would you rather speak every language except the language of the country you're currently in, or speak only the language of the country you're in, but know the meaning of every single word in that language? Well, I think it's quite obvious that I don't want to know how to speak French, because I just covered this. So I'm going to go with, because this one already applies to me because I have such a large lexicon, I will speak only the language of the country that I'm in and know the meaning of every single word. We talked about this not too long ago in a couple episodes. Mike used to walk around with a dictionary, so he's already talking about how he doesn't want his children to be on the corner being like, yeah, twerk shit, yeah, fucking, yeah, man, shit. That's right, man, yeah, man, shit. So I'm trying to reload this page, and I'll regale you with a quick story of, that was my phone sending out messages, if that comes up on the recording. I'll regale you with a quick story of when I used to work in the pizza business. A long, long time ago, in a land called 2011, I used to work for a pizza business. Well, subsequently, it was also 2008, 2009, 2010. And I had just started. I was an insider. And I just made the pizzas, took the orders, and that was it. Responsibility level was at a negative 80. That's right. We're going back to negative 80. I dropped it again. So I'll go ahead and try to put it in as many times tonight. Every time I say negative 80, you take a shot. And by take a shot, I don't mean gun control shot, shooting little Susie trying to sell you cookies. I mean alcohol. So, this guy, I'm trying to regale you why this thing, so just give me a second. This guy took an order, and it was probably about a 60-minute drive away. And you're not supposed to do that, obviously. Anybody who works in the delivery business, of any kind of delivery business, knows off the bat, you don't take an order generally more than a 1.5 mile radius away from the store. Some more or less like that. Sometimes it's 2 miles. Unless it's a Chinese food place, they have lower standards. They don't give a shit. They'll send you to Illinois if you're delivering from Florida. But this guy took an order way out in the boonies, way away from where we are. And the guy gets out there, calls us back, and he's like, did you say it's going to be at this address? And we're like, yeah, that's what it says on here. That's not even close to being our delivery area by 55 minutes, guys. And the store owner was like, well, if you just take it to him, just take it to him. I mean, we already told him it'd be out there. And after about an hour and 15 minutes of this guy trying to find the address, he can't find it, and the customer calls back, complains, blah, 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 and more or less the order gets canceled, people get upset, that's whatever. Everybody, that shit happens. I have to give you this part of the story. So the guy gets back, and he's kind of an old dude. The dude's kind of old. I think he's like 63, 64, delivering pizzas at 11 o'clock at night. And we were supposed to be closed an hour and a half ago, and the guy gets back into the store, and I want to say it's about 12:30, 12:45. The entire store is clean. He doesn't have to do any of that. But this gentleman is so upset, so physically angered, you can see it in his face. He's turning red, and he starts vomiting everywhere. This guy starts vomiting as his response to being angry and being upset. Apparently, I learned this later on. And I want to go ahead and put a little box down in the comment bar or whatever. How do you respond to stress and anger? And which way is the completely most ridiculous? Because I know somebody else who gets super ultra mega diarrhea when they get stressed out. And all you gotta do is just mention, like, oh, hey, your bills are due. Everywhere, all over the walls. And then guess what? You get even more stressed out because there's diarrhea on the walls and you gotta clean it off. So guess what? And it's an endless cycle of super ultra mega diarrhea. Alright, we have a question loaded finally. It is, would you rather string your opponent along for the entire fight or crush them from the beginning? Huh. I would rather string them along for the entire fight, because recently I started playing blue-white control in Magic because I felt like being a super ultra mega dick, and nobody likes playing control and nobody likes playing against control. And I used to play aggro. I used to be a cool guy who tried to get the game over as soon as possible so we could all go home and go to Happy Christmas Land and get laid. Instead, I was like, well, I want to play hour-and-a-half long rounds and ruin everybody's night, make sure you get out at 5 a.m. and have to go to work at 9 a.m. the next day. That's me. I'm that guy now. I'm a super ultra mega heal. And along with negative 80, I'm going to see how many times I can say super ultra mega heal tonight. And those of you who don't know what a heal is, it's a bad guy. And I'll cover that later because I want to cover my top 5 favorite heals of all time because I just got done watching Hunchback of Notre Dame. Frollo is the baddest ass motherfucker ever. So, control, blah blah blah, string them along for the entire fight. I want to string them along for the entire fight because I want them to think that they have a fighting chance and then just completely shatter their dreams. Be like, oh hey, guess what? No, I'm not winded, dude. I'm good. No, that's not blood. That's ketchup. I squashed a tomato on my head. That's right. I heard somebody say squash a tomato on their head before. Pretty sure it was the guy that shot little Susie, but he wouldn't been on a cut. He just would have been sitting around eating and drinking beer, pizza, etc. all day. Yeah, I'm being really mean tonight, but that's what I got to do to be entertaining, because if I don't do that, I'm going to lose focus, and nobody else is going to listen to me, which means ratings go down, which means we don't get on the air anymore, which means our show gets canceled and we kill ourselves. That seems really dramatic for somebody who's not getting paid to do radio, but you've never met us in person. So yeah, string them along for the entire fight. It's really tangenty tonight because I have no way to focus because I don't have anybody to bounce ideas back off of. The only ideas that are bouncing off are the wall in front of me back to myself. And all of this sounds like a pile of bullshit. Would you rather open a can of whoop-ass on a fool or pity a fool? I would rather open the can of whoop-ass on a fool because I already pity many fools. The unwashed masses are the dirt worst and most awful people ever, especially in the area that we live in, and I pity most of them. So I'm going to open a can of whoop-ass on those fools that I pity because, well, they're complete imbeciles. And they're almost dumb enough, I'm pretty sure, yeah, their brains are so prehistoric that they wouldn't even register the fact that they are in pain, just like fish. They'd be flapping their gills about and going, meh, 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 flopping on the ground, not understanding. So I would much rather open a can of whoop-ass on a fool. Would you rather, if it'll load, and I don't know what happened to my voice, that was really weird. Would you rather live in ancient Greece or live in ancient Egypt? Well, given the fact that they had awesome, gigantic sex orgies, and they had Nero, and Caesar, I'm just going to say ancient Greece because whores were legal. Sorry, guys. And they had the best army of all, most badass time ever, except for, like, the Vikings and the modern French army. Yeah, that's right. I said it, guys. The French army is really good. Would I rather be a heavy smoker or be a heavy drinker? I'm going to go with be a heavy drinker because everybody loves somebody who drinks, but everybody hates a guy who smokes. Because all of a sudden, because ever since the turn of the century, oh no, turn of the century, well yeah, I guess, oh, is the century? I don't know, ever since the turn of the millennia, we'll say that, ever since the turn of the millennia, I can't even say the words right, Jesus, I'm being an ass tonight, and then I can't even get the words out properly. I'd much rather be a heavy drinker than a smoker because, let me get it out, turn of millennia, everybody's like, oh, well, you can't smoke secondhand smoke. It's going to kill babies, kills babies, kills babies, kills fetuses. Oh, you're going to get aborted because you smelled some secondhand smoke. Faggots. Heavy drinkers way cooler because, yeah, obviously, after a while you're going to get used to it, and you could be the party guy. And everybody loves the party guy. I love the party guy. Or are we talking about heavy, like, cigarette smoking? Because if you're a heavy marijuana user, I'm sorry, but I do not see the point in using marijuana needles. They just, yeah. Would you rather... Oh, I'm on all 3 Gs, so it looks like... oh, no, good. Would you rather be blind or be dumb? Well, we kind of covered this in the first episode. If you listen to it, I think Mike said he would rather be blind because he's going to be blind one day anyways. And then I said I would rather be blind because I have to hear the sound of my illustrious voice. That's right. I remember things that I say sometimes, and other times I don't. I have a very selective memory, and I hope I will never remember any of this ever again because this show is awful, and I pity you fools for listening to it. Would I rather be hung by a noose or be decapitated by a guillotine? Well, I just covered this one, and I'm going to say at this point I'd rather be decapitated by a guillotine for having to say that question again. Would you rather eat nothing but ketchup for a week or eat nothing but mustard for a week? Well, mustard has no calories in it and higher sodium content, and ketchup has more calories and it's made from tomatoes. So I'm going to go with the ketchup because I already mentioned the ketchup earlier, which means by synchronicity, using one of Mike's favorite words ever since he got back to Virginia, like he studied the dictionary or something, synchronicity. I'm going to go with ketchup because ketchup is red. Would you rather be able to fly or be able to breathe underwater? I don't like... this is a good question. I like this one. I'd much rather be able to breathe underwater because then I don't have to have the fear of drowning. Sure, flying would be cool and all, but being masters of the sea and being able to see Mr. Trident himself, I can't remember his name, Neptune, being able to see King Neptune and just dap him up and be all like, yo, what's up, dog? You creating all them whirlpools and shit, yeah? Man, yeah, for real, yeah? That's some cool shit, yeah. Alright, go back to work. That'd be pretty cool, I guess. Would I rather kill myself or continue the show? Oh, I think that's an obvious answer. Oh, I got a 502. How do you get a 502? The internet doesn't even work like that nowadays. I mean, I understand a 404 and like a 401, but a 502? No, that's not... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let's see if I can think of any quick stories to regale you, because I'm more or less just trying to pack this episode in so we can get onto the air ActiSap as close to as soon as possible. Oh, last night I was playing, what's that game? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 against my future brother-in-law, and he constantly was kicking my ass because he uses the awesome teams of, like, Sentinel, Cable, and Wolverine, which are all top-tier characters, and I play with guys like Hayato, Servbot, and Mega Man. And obviously, if you look at the bottom tier, Hayato, Mega Man, and Servbot are all on the bottom. But then I started beating him somehow because maybe Mega Man's fast or he can shoot his cannon. I don't fucking know. Final score was like 17-19. I'm just rambling, trying to get this thing to load. Would you rather have loved and lost, or never loved at all? Man, that's actually really deep. Much too deep for me to talk about by myself. I would rather have never loved at all. Because then I can buy hookers. Because hookers were legal in ancient Greece. That's right, I'm going to string all this shit together tonight, -80. Would you rather live without your cell phone or live without your iPod? That's an easy question because iPods are for faggots, and I'm not a giant, colossal, mega, super, ultra faggot. I'm a super, mega, ultra heel. So obviously cell phone because I'm on my cell phone right now answering these stupid would you rather questions. I don't know how I've extended this for 20 minutes. Would you rather prevent World War II or win a life-changing amount of money in a lottery? Well, there's no way to prevent World War II without causing catastrophic casualties from, the massive Holocaust that never happened, quote-unquote. Can't say that in America if you're being monitored by the FCC, man. But I'm going to go with the greedy, obvious, mega, ultra, super, heel, -80 answer of win a life-changing amount of money in the lottery. Because then, I would be able to give you a quality show, and I wouldn't give you a quality show. I would take myself out of the show, bring in Mike, clone him, and have Mike talk to himself, because that would be far more entertaining than just listening to me ramble on about chicken shit bullshit all night, -80. Would you rather be a character in Lost or be a character on Heroes? I would much rather be a character on Heroes because I enjoy being alive. That's the end of discussion. Plus, you get super, ultra, mega awesome hero powers, which brings me to another topic I wanted to cover tonight, so I should be able to go ahead and stop these questions in a second. What are some useless superpowers in real life that you just can't apply to anything? I'm going to go with you have the ability to remain invisible as long as no one sees you. That's probably my favorite superpower that doesn't work. That's awful. There's also the ability to grow your nails 2 inches per day. But if you grow them more than 2 inches in... Wait, what is it? Yeah, if you grow them more than an inch in a day, they fall off. And you can't regrow them for a week or some stupid shit. The stipulations are dumb. If I could shoot spaghetti out of my hands, that'd be great, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm spilling spaghetti everywhere. Would you rather... Enters break. Would you rather lose your preferred hand or lose your preferred foot? I could live without my right foot because I like to play video games sometimes, even though I don't really do it that much anymore. Plus, I need my hands to type because I like to write things. I also play guitar. I do like running, but guess what? You don't need a foot to lift, and you don't need a foot to run. You do need a foot to kick, but I used to be a kicker, and I'm awful at it now, so I'm not going to do that. -80. Would I rather have my internet stuck on 3G for the rest of my life? Would I rather change my religion or change my political party? Well, since I don't really have a religion, I can't change that. And since I'm a conservative, I would totally go liberal, because liberal guys get awesome goth chicks and emo girls sometimes, so I could totally go with that. That sounds very plausible to me. Alright, I'm going to take a break off of these stupid questionnaires for a second. That's me throwing my phone into my goblet. Top 5 heal... I can't really say top 5, because they're supposed to be top 6 lists, but then we don't even do lists here anymore, because somebody said, oh, we can't do lists because then the listeners will... Yeah, that's Mike's voice when he talks. That's all I hear. I'm going to go over some of my favorite bad guys in the history of bad guys, and when Mike gets back, we'll go ahead and cover more of them, because I know that he has a long list of heels that he loves, and, Anyways, I just kind of died there for a second. Let me go ahead and get myself refocused. And I'm talking about my favorite bad guys of all time. I'm going to call Mike and see if he answers, because, obviously he's not going to answer, because he never answers when I call him in real life, so he's not going to answer when I call him during the middle of a show, and I can't even talk right again, because I'm the worst. Favorite bad guys of all time, Mike. Obviously, he's number 5, with honorable mention to Victor Von Doom, because, well, I can't, well, he's, well...
Unfortunately, I cannot take a call at this very moment, but if you leave a message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and leave you a message while I'm doing the show then. I'm covering my top 5 favorite villains and heels of all time. You'll obviously text me back with the information. Well, no, you won't, because you don't listen to your messages, because you're a chicken shit bullshit. Call me! Oh, that's right, I farted at the end of that. I don't care. We're not monitored. Number 5 is obviously Mike. He's a super heel, rude, omega, ultra bad guy. Number 4, I'm going to go with Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This guy. Well, I mean, you have to look at it. In the book, he's not such a bad guy, but in the Disney version, he is an evil man with an evil, evil black heart and a little, teeny, tiny penis. And that's why I assume he's so mad and he hates gypsies, because the gypsies are beautiful and hot, and I would totally hit the gypsies, and by hit them I mean have sex with them, and sexual relations and sexual relation things. I gotta get quiet there for a second. I don't know why, because I saw something walking outside the door, thought it was a ghost. Yeah. So Frollo, with his awesome baritone voice and how evil and conniving he is, he told this horrible, disfigured being that is the Hunchback that his mother abandoned him at the end of the movie. Or no, he killed her. Yeah, he killed her or some shit. I don't remember because I was playing Magic. Number 3, what did I watch before that? I watched Hercules, and oh my god, that's right. Number 3 is going to be James Woods, and not Hades, James Woods, because James Woods is a super ultra mega awesome Rudo heel. Because listen to his voice, listen to when he talks. The man is amazing. He stole Peter's identity once, and he was Hades. That more or less wraps it up. I'm trying not to cover the list extensively tonight, so we can have something to talk about next time. Ultra Super Mega Rudo heels, Undertaker from wrestling, obviously the WWF days, when he was with the corporate ministry, because anybody talks like this. Dude, that's awesome. And then he buries people alive, and, I mean, that's more or less it. Yeah. So, in the number 1, my super favorite, awesome, mega ultra bad guy of all time, Perfect Cell. What an ass. What a complete ass. He thinks he's perfect because he knows he's perfect because he is perfect. He's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, but then Gohan had to show up with a damn Kamehameha with one hand and have his father's memory behind him charging that shit. Eat a bag of dicks. Oh, goddamn. Number 0, Nicol Bolas. Nicol Bolas is better than any bad guy you'll ever mention ever. Don't even try and tell me there's any bad guy better than Nicol Bolas, because Nicol Bolas is the bad guy to end all bad guys. He touches you and your memory's gone. He touches you and you're dead. He touches you and you go back to your hand. It's more or less, that's that. I've been rambling for 26 minutes. Oh boy. Oh, it's 27, excuse me, because I need to learn how to math. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and go back to another Would You Rather. Would you rather have triplets or be a triplet? I would rather be a triplet because I'm not having children, and if I were a triplet, we could all go into some sort of ridiculous, I guess, I don't want to make another wrestling reference, but we could go into wrestling and be like ridiculous tag team partners, because then, we could tag in and out, and we didn't have to tag in and out because we're triplets, and everybody looks the exact same. Twin magic, I believe, is what Mike called it. Alright, another one. Would you rather wear an eye patch or have a peg leg? Well, I scour the internet endlessly at night, and I'm going to have to say that women with eye patches are far sexier than women with peg legs. Unless you have some sort of peg leg fetish, then, that's what you do. I'm going to go ahead and say I think I would look way more badass with an eye patch than I would with a peg leg. Because if a guy comes at me with an eye patch, he has all of his appendages. If a guy comes at me with a peg leg, I'm not necessarily afraid of him. Because I know I can outrun him, and I can kick his little wooden leg out from underneath him. Which takes me back to another movie that I saw last week. I went back and watched The House on Haunted Hill with my fiance, and it had one of my favorite actors of all time, Vincent Price, in it. Another guy with an awesome, deep, scary voice, and he always comes off as a misogynist in all of his movies, and I idolize to emulate his character if I were a character in movies. But there's the scene where the woman gets pushed into the vat of acid by the skeleton that Mr. Price is controlling as a puppet. Now, no offense to skeletons, because obviously there's a skeleton inside of all of us. There's a skeleton inside of me, a skeleton inside of you, and a skeleton inside of your child. Now, don't be frightened. Don't be frightened yet. No. This isn't a creepypasta. If a skeleton came at me, even if the skeleton was running at, let's say 20 miles an hour, if a skeleton is running at me, I will just kick his ass. He's a skeleton. He'll reassemble, and then I'll kick his ass again. He doesn't have muscle. He doesn't have brawn. He doesn't have brains. He's a skeleton. You just kick his ass. He's a skeleton. It's not hard. I'm sorry, folks. If you let a skeleton kick your ass, I've got some really bad news for you. 1, you're gonna die first in the movie. Number 2, you're a fucking imbecile. Would you rather lose your front teeth in a skateboarding accident or break your hands on a bike? I don't like skateboarding, and I generally don't like skateboarders. There are exceptions to that rule. People who bike are generally annoying as fuck if you're the guys riding down the street in the middle of the street with your tight little teeny tiny pants on. So, this one's kind of an odd one for me. I'd rather break my dick off in a skillet accident. Would you rather have a British accent or have an Australian accent? I hate British people. Australian accent, no question. Because then obviously you can come from the land. Well, I guess if you have an Australian accent, you don't have to be Australian. But you can always play it off that your lineage and bloodline were a bunch of criminals. Just like the rappers do nowadays to seem cool. So I guess that would be cool to somebody. Would you rather be a spouse of a polygamist or never have a relationship last longer than 2 years? I'd much rather have the relationship not last longer than 2 years because you would have some really good stories of sex, and if you know that your relationships aren't going to last longer than 2 years, you can have multiple threesomes and orgies and not have any fucks given or any shits cared. Oh, look at that. Another 502 bad gateway because the internet is the best thing since sliced bread and Jesus and the Beatles. Anything's better than the Beatles because I hate the Beatles, which gets me into another topic I want to talk about later. Favorite bands. I'm going to squash all these things down in one episode, so pay attention because I'm awful. Would you rather dance like Michael Jackson or sing like Freddie Mercury? That's actually a really good one. I got to stop and think about this for a moment. I'd rather dance like Michael Jackson because I don't like singing in front of people. It's something that's weird for me, and that's why it was hard for me to sing the intro to the new Sloth and Money. So I'm going to go with dance like Michael Jackson because I can just bust that out at any time. Plus, people are going to pay you more to dance nowadays than they do to sing because you can get auto-tuned, and that's really easy to make it sound like you know how to sing, but it's kind of hard to make it look like you know how to dance. Going with the dance. Would I rather be Batman or Superman? I personally hate both of them, and they're both my least favorite superheroes, if that's even possible. If I had a choice, though, I would rather be Thor, because Thor is he's a demigod. He's the son of an awesome god, and I guess that's kind of off tangent. I'll choose to be Batman because Bruce Wayne's got a whole bunch of money. I heard two imbeciles arguing about this at a party once, that Batman is the better superhero than Superman because he doesn't have powers, and that's not how it works. How it works is, which one is the better hero? If you were dying, like in a moment where you're about to die at any moment, would you rather have Batman come save your life or Superman? I'm going to go with Superman because he's actually going to save my life instead of being a complete faggot in all black based off of a bat. So, I would rather be Batman, but I'd rather have Superman save my life. That's right. Sorry, Bruce Wayne. Cry yourself to sleep. Well, you already do that anyways because you think about your mom and dad being dead. Sorry if that struck a note with anybody. Would I rather burn to death or drown? Burning to death is terrifyingly painful, and apparently drowning is completely peaceful. However, with the drowning, you try to breathe, and you try to make words and try to scream, but your throat closes up so hard. It's some sort of reaction where your throat just closes up, and you can't make noise or anything like that. So I'm going to go with the peaceful one, with the drowning. Because it's a lot easier to hold your breath and die than go, oh my god, my fucking face is on fire and falling off. And your face just falls off. That's got to be the worst. Would you rather be infertile or have a child that passes away before age of 5? This is morbid and sad. Who would even put this question up there? I'd rather be infertile because I don't want to have children, and I can have sex with everything and everyone and not have to worry about spreading my seed and having the world to deal with another sloth in, 20 years trying to make a fledgling radio show that no one wants to listen to, that's bad, and he has to rely on some guy named Can Mackerel as well. Yes, that was another fart. Sorry. I'm gassy. I'm on a cut. I'm eating food that's like beans and cheese and screw all you haters. Would you rather only wear what? Okay. Would you rather only wear revealing hot pink clothes or always have to wear socks and sandals? Well, hot pink is one of my favorite colors. But I like looking like a nerd sometimes, so I'm going to go with the socks and sandals combination, because some people are really into that socks and sandals jank. But then again, I guess if you always had to wear socks and sandals, or you always had to wear the clothes, that means you'd have to wear them in the shower, you'd have to wear them in the pool, and once you die, you'll have to wear them, and your corpse will be wearing those things. So I'm going to go with the hot pink revealing clothes. Would you rather watch your favorite movie on repeat for a full day, or watch Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist once? I've never seen it, nor do I plan on watching it, and I don't know what my favorite movie is, and there's a lot of movies out there that I like, so I would much rather watch my favorite movie on repeat for the full day, because that means even if it's a crappy movie like Kick-Ass, I'll get to see Kick-Ass, like 12 times in a day, and that's thunder. If you guys, oh, that's awesome, guys. It's going to start raining any moment, and the show's going to get cut short. Thank God. Thank God for all of you and your progenitors. Would you rather be credited with the invention of the wheel, or be credited with the invention of the internet? Well, because no one gives a second thought about either of these, because we all take it for granted nowadays, I'm going to go ahead and want to be credited with the invention of the internet, because then all of these faggots who get butthurt and ass mangled can be all like, oh, well, the internet's fucking faggy gay shit anyways, and I live at home with my mom, and I drop spaghetti on the floor all the time when I try to talk to women's. That feel when no girlfriend. Well, guess what? If I made the internet, that means I'm going to be able to invent something that would take down the internet. Oh my God, a cool rush of air just breezed in all over my balls because I'm doing this episode naked. Would you rather, it's still running on 3Gs, would I rather run 26 miles or swim 5 miles? I love running, and I'm actually, I'm not completely naked. I'm in my running shoes right now because they're orange, blue, green, and every color of the rainbow. And I guess that would be a good indicator that I would rather run 26 miles, because that's a hell of an accomplishment. I mean, if I could breathe underwater, oh my God, I'm fitting them all together. If I could breathe underwater, I would totally be cool to swimming 5 miles, because then I don't have to come up for air and stay afloat because I don't really know how to swim. So I'm just going to go with the run because that's a lot easier. Would I rather be stabbed in the stomach 10 times? I can't even say it right because I'm so thirsty. Would I rather be stabbed in the stomach 10 times or be shot in both kneecaps? Well, if you get stabbed in the stomach, I'm pretty sure you're going to die. If you get shot in the kneecaps, you can probably go on disability. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I would rather go on disability and not have to work for the rest of my life. And that seems like a really cheesy, cheap way. Oh my God. But yes, I'm going to get shot in the kneecaps, survive that terrible, awful pain, and laugh at my assailants while they rot in prison. Would you rather eat fast food burgers every night or eat Chinese takeout every night? That's not even a question, because the Chinese takeout that I order from has hamburgers and cheeseburgers. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the blanket effect here. For those of you who don't know what a blanket effect is, that's something that affects everything in Magic, because I'm a super ultra mega nerd. Because then I can call the Chinese place and be like, yeah, can I please get the C7? Oh, you want a hamburger? Yeah, yes, the hamburger with the I would like fried onions and some green peppers. Oh, yeah, now order? Yes, that is all. Oh, wait, no, can I get 2 orders of the large fries? Oh, you order 10.50 already, 15 minutes. Goodbye. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the eating of the Chinese takeout every evening for the rest of my life. However, that's not going to work for me because, once again, I'm on the cut. Would you rather not run on 3Gs? Would you rather be a centaur or be a merman? I'm going to go ahead and say, damn it, I was thinking centaur, I was thinking minotaur, because minotaurs are awesome. Damn it. I'm going to go ahead and go with, I would rather be can I breathe underwater if I'm a merman? Obviously, I'll fit it in there. I'll go ahead and say centaur, because everybody with the merman and mermaids are always like, well, where are their genitals? If you're a centaur, your dick is as big as a fucking house. So I'm going to go ahead and go with giant dick man centaur, because then I guess yeah, I guess you could have sex with horses. Would you rather be Matt Damon or be Ben Affleck? Well, because I don't personally know what either of them have ever done in their entire career, I'm going to say I would rather kill myself. Would you rather be forced to walk around an entire month without pants, or shed all your hair for an entire month? Well, since I'm now a centaur, that's right, you guys are going to hear the editing on that one. I called myself a satire because that makes any sense. Since I'm now a almost did it again. Since I'm now a centaur, I'm going to say that I'm totally cool with walking around without pants to conceal my giant, gigantic dick. And that was another fart. I had, I had nachos, with shitty cheese and, Greek yogurt, because I love replacing sour cream with Greek yogurt for dinner. Would you rather have your face on the $1 bill or have your face on the $100 bill? What's the point of this question? Seriously, what is the entire point of this question? If you're on the $1 bill, then you are George Washington, father of our country. And if you're the other guy, you're an awesome inventor. So I guess the question really is, would you rather be George Washington or, was it Benjamin Franklin? Yeah, Benjamin. I would much rather be Benjamin Franklin because he was involved in some freaky shit. Whenever he went over to France, he would have orgies. Fuck France. I hate France, so I guess maybe I'm going to be George Washington. Yep, George Washington, -80. Would you rather play Beirut, that's beer pong, or play Flip Cup? Well, I don't know what Flip Cup is, but I do know that there is a card in Magic called the Chalice of Life and Chalice of Death, and the Chalice of Life transforms and flips over into the Chalice of Death, and I've played it before, so I would much rather play Flip Cup, because I'm a nerd. Would you rather go swimming with sharks or go swimming with alligators? Well, you got to think about which one. I guess I can't really swim that I'm now George Washington, the centaur without pants, who can run 26 miles. So I should have probably... Well, I can breathe underwater, so maybe I can go deeper than the sharks. Or out. Either way, I'm fucked. I'm going to go ahead and go with the quick death and say I'd rather swim with sharks. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with today. Would you rather be allergic to peanut butter or be allergic to chocolate? Well, I love peanut butter, and I don't care for chocolate. So I think it's a no-brainer that I'm going to go with the fact that I would be allergic to chocolate. Chocolate. That's right. Oh, my throat is getting really, really bad. I don't know. I probably should have came prepared. Hold on a moment. Let me just, yeah, I want to go get some WD-40. All right. You hear it? You hear it? Yep. That's WD-40. All right. Good. No. Oh, shit. That was... Okay, WD-40. My throat is now lubricated, and I am feeling much better. Would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long? Well, after sucking down that WD-40, I'm pretty sure living twice as long would probably be the better choice of an option. But it's about quality and not quantity. So I would rather win the lottery and live the life that I would normally live instead of living a bullshit life that's going to suck dick-ass cock. Unless I'm going to die tomorrow, then I guess maybe the better choice would live twice as long. There's a gigantic roach just crawling on the door. Fuck you, buddy, you faggot. We used to not have roaches, but then, you know, less than desirable people started moving into the neighborhoods across from us, and they started cutting down woods and houses, and more or less, it's become a crapshoot, and there's roaches everywhere. Let's see if I can go ahead and get this to work properly. I cannot. Good. WouldYouRather.com gave me another 502 message, and I've got 15 more minutes to bullshit. Let me go ahead and tell you about music for a little bit. Obviously, I am a large music fan, and by large, I mean I am over 200 pounds. No, I'm a large music fan. I love music. I have been forever. You heard me sing and play the guitar. I sang the guitar. That's what I did. I sang the guitar. I'm now a pantsless centaur George Washington without, well, I already said pantsless, that plays guitar while running a marathon. Who can breathe underwater with hot pink clothes? Because that makes any sense. Whatever. So, I'll just go ahead and put this information out there. I believe I mentioned some of these bands before in some of these albums because I like to listen to full albums. I like concept albums. The number one, I guess I can't start with number one. Like, the first one I would mention, go ahead and listen to, I think it's Ashes Against the Grain or Ashes to the Grain. It's whatever. It's a band called Algoloch, Aggoloch. They're from Seattle or some shit. They're a black metal band, but they're really good. Give them a chance, even though it's black metal. Probably one of my favorite bands right now, Bohren and Der Club of Gore. They are a noir jazz band. They have a album called Sunset Mission, I believe is the name of the album, is Sunset Mission. It's got Cold Steel, On Demon Wings. It's a really good album. And you can hear my voice going out again. That WD-40 did not help at all. Let's see here. Everybody knows who they are, but just go ahead I got to put it out there for the reference. Listen to Weezer's Blue Album. The Blue Album is a really good album to listen all the way through. Many a night I've laid in bed staring at the ceiling listening to the Blue Album, alongside with my other favorite album to lay in bed. And when I was sick taking cold medicine, I would listen to Lateralists. Lateralists will take your mind on a journey that it was not prepared to take, and when you come back, you will be an enlightened individual and realize how much you hate the world more than you did before you took the trip. It's got, obviously, Lateralists on it, but it's got Reflection, Disposition, Triad, in that order. Listen to them. Amazing. 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 A lot of people obviously like Tool. That's Tool, obviously. Tool is the band that I'm speaking of. A lot of people listen to Tool already, so if you're listening to this, you've already listened to Tool, and if you haven't listened to Tool and you're listening to this, I got some bad news for you. Once again, I'll go back to that, -80. Alright, let's, since my voice is going out, and I gotta take time to pause and think, I'm gonna go back to the Would You Rather questions. Would you rather be John Lennon or be Paul McCartney? I can't say his name right, because I'm thirsty. Personally, Paul McCartney's still alive, even though he's been divorced 900 times. But John Lennon got Yoko Ono. But he also is ass naked in some pictures in a book they made. So I'm going to go with Paul McCartney, because he's still alive and successful. Would you rather be a genius in a world of unintelligent people, or be unintelligent in a world of geniuses? Well, since I already live the number one, I am a genius among unintelligent people. I pity fools every day. I am a pantsless centaur, George Washington, hot pink wearing, breathing underwater wearing. That's right. So I'm going to go with, fuck this episode. I'm so sorry that everybody has to listen to this. This is really bad. I don't know what's making that clicking noise, but it's terrifying me, because I'm out here by myself. Normally I'm out here and it's dark, and everything's fine, because I have a cohort with me, and if something, evil pops through the door, I'm good. Unless it's a skeleton. If a skeleton pops through, I'll just kick his ass. But if it's a demon, I can't do shit about that. I'm powerless. Would you rather be stung by 20 bees in random locations, or have each shin kicked hard 10 times? Well, because I know some individuals that will get drunk and perform leg kicks on other individuals, and I know that shit hurts like a motherfucker, I'm going to go ahead and... I don't know if I'm allergic to bees, though. Bees! That's right. Bees? Question mark. Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey! It was really hard to do that. I'm going to go ahead and say I would rather be stung by bees in the shin hard 20 times. And, yeah. Well, I guess it's a random place. Well, I don't know. Does that mean I get stung in the scrotum and the anus as well? Because I don't think I would enjoy being stung in the anus as much as I would having fists in my anus. Would you rather watch only dramas for the rest of my life, or only watch comedies for the rest of my life? I like dramas, and it depends what kind of comedy. Do I still get to go watch stand-up comics? I'm assuming no, because that would be watching comedy. I'm going to go with dramas, because that's far more interesting than laughing my ass off watching The Heat. That's right, we saw The Heat in theaters. We never reviewed it. There's a reason we never reviewed it, because it was a good movie. Plus, we're lazy as fuck. I don't want to open a new tab. Would you rather always disappoint people or always anger people? Brings back a story to me. as a manager, working in pizza. Upper management once told me, quote, "If you're not having people be angry and hate you, then you're not doing your job right." And that gentleman was eventually fired for sexually harassing another individual. I say individual because they were both males, because the first one is a raging, flaming cunt faggot. That's a new word in my lexicon. He is a cunt faggot, yes. But once again, a raging homosexual who then eventually got a job in an area, like 35 miles from here, and he got fired from that job for arguing with the owner, and I'm pretty sure he moved back to where he came from in Ohio, which I assume Ohio is where careers and people's, they just go to die. Ohio's the dirt worst. Everybody knows Ohio's the worst. Ohio sports are bad. Ohio entertainment is bad. But they do have the quarry, so thumbs up to the quarry. So I'm going to go ahead and go with, I would rather always anger people, because if I disappoint other people, then I probably disappoint myself as well. And by angering them, I control them, and I love controlling people, because I play blue-white now. Would you rather chug a pint of ocean salt water or chug a pint of rancid milk? Rancid milk is going to be it's going to be all curdled, and it's going to be like cottage cheese. So I'm going to go with the cottage cheese because I love cottage cheese. The salt water will probably kill you. As much as I want to die instead of doing this episode right now, I'm going to go with the rancid milk. Would you rather always be overdressed or always be underdressed? Well, it depends how successful I am. If I am very successful as an individual, I would rather be always underdressed. If I'm not successful at all, I'd rather always be overdressed, because then people think you're successful. And image is half the battle, most of the time. Listening to me, obviously there is no image, and I actually have to produce a good product, which we can't do. Would you rather play GoldenEye for 64 or play Halo for the Xbox? Not even a question, because the Xbox was terrible, awful. Halo was also bad, and I hate it. So I'm going to go with GoldenEye because you can turn on paintball mode and giant heads. If you could do that in Halo, I would probably play your game, Bungie, but I know I can't, so I won't. Would you rather be Napoleon or be Julius Caesar? Not even a question. I would rather be Caesar because I got stabbed in the face and gut 8,100,000 times, and I could be all like, "Et tu brute?" Yeah. Let's see. Oh my god, thank god. I've only got 7 minutes left, and I know this isn't entertaining. It can't be entertaining. Would you rather be a very fat and ugly person with a ton of friends that will never get someone of the opposite sex, or be a very skinny and attractive person that has no friends but can get any person of the opposite sex that they want? Not even a question, because I've already lived the life of number one. So I'm going to choose number 2 of the skinny person who can have sex with anybody. I'm choosing that because if I'm a skinny person who can have sex with anybody, I can then have sex with gypsies. So I can go out there and find someone who is likened to the body of Esmeralda, with her green eyes, dark skin, whirling hair, and her hypnotic trance. So obviously, I hit the reload button. Would you rather have your partner have okay, fuck it, I can't do it. Would you rather have your partner have a heterosexual affair or homosexual affair? Personally, I find it very hot and mentally stimulating that my significant other would have a homosexual affair, because I am a heterosexual. So I'm going to go with the fact that I would totally be cool with them having a homosexual affair. Would you rather have all fingernails and toenails removed quickly, or deep paper cuts on the webbing between each finger? And I'm queasing right now thinking about that second option. So I'm going to go with, I goosebumps everywhere, and I can't scream because my throat is all blech. I would much rather have all my fingernails and toenails ripped right the fuck out, instead of getting paper cuts. I can't do shit with paper cuts between my webbing of all my fingers and toes. No. My fingernails and toenails are going to grow back. I will never mentally recover from the paper cuts. Would you rather have long curly hair or short straight hair? Well, I once had long curly hair that went flowing down my back, but then because somebody decided that it was a good idea to cut my hair, I'm not looking at anybody in particular, society, but I'm going to go with my long curly hair because I looked like Jesus. I felt like Jesus. I felt great. I mean, I guess mentally I felt great, but physically I feel much better now. And I've got to bullshit you for 5 more minutes. That's all I got to do is 5 more minutes, and then I can tap on out. I already got this question, would I rather live in Greece or Egypt? I guess Egypt would be kind of fun, but everybody smelled like dick ass. Oh, look, they have an update. You can use the mobile device app instead of being on their website. Maybe I wouldn't get the same question 800 times in a row if I did that. But I'm not doing that because downloading their app gives them money or something. Would I rather know for sure who killed JFK or know for sure what happened to... I can't even say it right. Know for sure what happened to Amelia Earhart. Well, because I'm not really too keen on caring about either of them. It was silly for her to think she could fly a plane all by herself. It was also silly for him to think that he could be a president. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to know for sure what happened to the president who killed him as opposed to Earhart. Because one's a lot more culturally relevant than the other. Would you rather drive a bright red smart car or be spanked by Rosie O'Donnell every morning? I guess the smart car would be the better choice. Because, well, I mean, I guess maybe driving the smart car would feel like you're being spanked by Rosie O'Donnell every morning. But then she would let out that boisterous laugh, and I know she sang the national anthem really bad one time. So, yeah. I'm going to go with driving a smart car, because they get really good gas mileage. It's not as good as... Is it a little bit better than the Honda Fit? I think it's a little bit better than the Honda Fit, but you obviously can fit like 8 dead bodies in the Honda Fit. And that's why it's called the Fit, is because you can fit bodies in it. Would you rather travel the world confined to a wheelchair or spend your whole life in the same 200-mile radius? I'm going to say spend my whole life in the same 200-mile radius. I don't know. Maybe that is a tough question, because then I can't travel to the awesome big Magic tournaments, and I'm making funny noises because I can't even... Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the wheelchair as opposed to the same 200-mile radius, because then I can go play LAN parties of Counter-Strike, which is now dead, but I could do it. And because I'm handicapped, people are going to, take it easy on me. And then when I play Magic, people are going to take it easy on me, and I can win big tournaments. Would you rather be attractive and poor, or be ugly and rich? Well, I know a guy named Rich, and he's ugly as fuck, and it's not turning out for him so well. So I'm going to go ahead and be with attractive and poor, because then you can pull all kinds of pussy. No offense, Rich, I'm sorry. Would you rather raise a family with Samuel L. Jackson or raise a family with Vin Diesel? And I wanted this to be the last question because this is such an awesome question. I would rather raise a family with Samuel L. Jackson, not even a question. Vin Diesel took care of those kids very well when he was daycaring them, but Samuel L. Jackson is going to be the enforcer. He's going to yell at your kids. He's going to tell them, say what one more motherfucking time, and then he's going to spank their ass. He's going to beat them until they don't say fucking what anymore for the rest of their lives. Like, if someone asked them a question and then they didn't understand what the person said, they're not going to turn around and say even whoop. They're going to be like, they're going to be emotionally stunted, and they're probably going to be people that shoot little Susie because they decide to try and shoot their bird feeders, and they're going to go on a cut, and they're going to try to make it, just like Ziz. I guess that was his name. I don't know. I've got to bullshit you for 1 more minute, so I'm going to jack you off for 1 more minute with this final question. That's definitely not the final question because I've already covered that. Oh boy. Let's see here. I'm waiting for it to load. This is just the worst because there's dead air, and it's the final minute. Would you rather give a speech to the whole nation or have to sleep with tarantulas on your bed? Well, folks, you've been listening to me for almost an hour now, and just me. So I'm going to go ahead and say I would much rather give a speech to the entire nation and have I would actually rather give a speech to the entire world to have to listen to my boisterous, luxurious, delicious voice than have tarantulas sleeping in my bed with me because, one, those are creepy-ass spiders. They're big as fuck, and especially if they, they're the gigantic ones. And, second of all, I am now George Washington centaur breathing underwater, swimming with hot pink clothes, and that would look completely ridiculous on TV if I had to give a speech to everyone. So I'm going to go with give a speech to the entire nation, and I'm sorry you had to listen to this for an hour. Signing off, this is Sloth for the Sloth and Money podcast.